Hello, welcome to Winter Disco Tabletop Gaming. We are checking out this week's pre-orders for Games Workshop. It's currently the 23rd of May, 2021. These are for the 22nd of May, 2021. A little bit late on it, but what can you do? So as you can see, if we go back to the main one, Admik. We got the new codex, some dice, some cards, a model, combat patrol, a few more other combat patrols, and some Age of Sigmar vampire stuff. Just all bits and pieces everywhere this week. It's got the codex. Prices will be on screen, as you can see right now. I love this cover. I need to convert it. It's just like such a good model. Such a good image to convert. So these are stock standard codexes, a whole bunch of history, the showcase, and then all the rules. So all the different units, and they have like the Crusade rules, all the different, what are they called? They're rights, I think. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head. There's a lot of information on Warhammer community website about their actual special rules, but looks like a pretty cool codex. I do like it. All what it is. So that's the normal one. There is the special edition as well, but that's sold out as far as I can tell. It's sold out pretty quickly, so we'll just skip over that. We do have the data cards, stock standard data cards for Admik. That's it. Like, there we go. Protector, Imperative, and Zealous Congregation. For example, it's not anything to really talk about. These come out with every army. So again, I get a really good close up of this dude here. It's got 20 different arms, a tiny face, whole bunch of stuff. Looks like a little dude off the back as well. I love it. I want to build that. Please, thank you very much. And we also have the Admik Die Set. So 20 dice in there for $55. I believe it's 20. Let's just double check if it's 20 dice. Yes, it is 20 dice. They're like 16mm dice, so a little bit small, but it's a good design. Red dice, very clear numbers, big solid Admik symbol. So, you know, yeah, it's just nice dice. And that's it. Nothing really more to say about the dice. Now, let's get into the models. We have the Skitarii Marshal. This is already sold out as far as I can see. So 49 Australian, different prices in different region. I was a bit not sold on it to begin with. Thought it was a bit weird, but I've come around to it. It's different enough from other Admik stuff, but similar enough that it'll slot right into your army. I love the leg there. I think that's a really cool leg. You know, just some extra goodies on this. Different head, a really cool head. I don't like the cog bit. Yeah, I've never really liked the use of cogs in their actual armor. Just keep it to there. That's fine. Keep it to the iconography. It does have a really cool servo skull. Kind of crazy, weird servo skull. With lots of attachments sticking out everywhere. And we got the sprue there. How many pieces is that? I think that's like 9. Yeah, it looks about 9 parts. And he's standing on a rock because, you know, it's an elite character. So he's got to stand on a rock. It's Games Workshop. Now we got the Combat Patrol, Admik. So we got Dune Walker, we've got Cataphrons, we've got a Tech Priest, and then a box of Rangers. Pretty standard. Really not much to say. 230 Australian. That's the price that most of the Combat Patrol boxes are going for. Not all of them, some are cheaper, as we'll see later in this video. Yeah, it's a cool little box. Like, I don't think it's that bad. Yeah, I mean, if you've already got Admik stuff, it's just an extra good addition. And I will be doing a cost analysis of the box to see how much you actually save. Those videos will be coming out the next week or so. We also do have the Combat Patrol for Space Marines. Again, $230, like that's the average price, or the general price for most of the Combat Patrol. Now, as far as I can tell, this is the Vanguard Start Collecting box. So they're all monopose models. Quickly jump through the sprues. You can see these are the monopose models. And there's some more there. So this is basically, like I said, the Vanguard Start Collecting box, but it has an impulsor in it. It works out to be cheaper. I haven't done the full cost on it, but there will be a video for that coming out. And you also get a transfer sheet, so you know. That's cool. So yeah, it's pretty stock standard. We know what this box generally is, so we won't need to go into too much detail, but check out the video once I've got that up. If I remember, I'll put a card in the description. if there's no card, just check out the channel. You'll see it there. Now we also have Combat Patrol Necrons. This is 210 Australian, so a little bit cheaper. We got some, basically you can run it 2 squads, 10 Immortals or Death Marks. What else is in there? I can't actually remember the names. So 1 Overlord, 10 Immortals or Death Marks, 3 Tomb Blades, and 1 Night Scythe, which could be a Doom Scythe. Yeah, like a cool little box. Generally cheap. I would say overall, your value will be pretty good in this. I think I really need to do the cost again, as with the other ones. I'll say it again. Cost video will be up and we'll check out the full price of that. Check the description or check the channel. I love the Deathmark faces. Oh, so good. So yeah, cool little box, 210 Australian. Now more Space Marine stuff, because Space Marines, Captain with Mastercrafted Heavy Bolt Rifle, $60 Australian. This is the standard price for these kinds of models. Space Marine Elite models. Solid model. The pose is a little odd, but Gravis armor is awesome. I really, really love Gravis armor. So we get a 360, and yes, I'm fully aware he's standing on a rock or concrete. I love the cloak there. Very cool. Yeah, like Gravis armor is super cool, super cool. With a big Mastercrafted Heavy Bolt Rifle. So it is monopose. That's a little disappointing, but you can do something with it. You could probably make a captain out of another model if you really, really wanted to. But I actually really like the design. Yeah, like Gravis armor mostly. I love the sword and the scabbard. I love the giant guns. I think that's such a good addition to the range. And speaking of additions, Heavy Intercessors. 5 models. Heavy Intercessors. Now, there has been a bit of talk in the community about how overpriced this is for 5 models. I think, yeah, it is highly priced. When you get in an Assault Intercessor kit, you get 10 for less than this. You get like half the amount for about the same price. Again, Games Workshop pricing structure is placed around the unit type rather than how much you get in a box. So you're going to be buying more Intercessor troops than Heavy Intercessors. So, you know, honestly, I can't remember if this is considered a baseline battle line unit in the Codex. I'd have to really go double check, but it is what it is. I've picked up a box of these simply because Gravis armor. I love the chunkiness of it. I really do. So I'm excited to get my hands on it. Not gonna lie. And he's pointing with 2 fingers. You know he's the boss. And he's not standing on a rock. That's really disappointing. But just chunky armor. I love it. And the guns are freaking huge. Oh my goodness. So there's a few different ways you can build it. I haven't actually looked at the sprues yet, so it'll be a bit of a surprise. So we do have the heavy bolt rifle. Is that a heavy bolt rifle? I don't actually know. Or a heavy bolt rifle. Depends what you want to call it. So there's a few different things, like tons of pieces here. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guns, 7 guns. So we've got the heavy one, then some other loadout. So you're going to get extra bits and pieces. Probably comes with like 5 heads. Oh no, it looks like 6 heads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 heads. Just cool. 7, 8, no, actually more heads. That's always good. Shoulder pads. Let's see what else has got on there. Looks like it's going to come with lots of bits. Not too many bits. There's another head there. So there's going to be tons of heads left over, which is awesome. There's more heads. So it looks like I don't think that's a head, so I won't count it. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 heads. Are you serious? Let's have an actual read of this. Doesn't really say. There it is. Hellstorm Heavy Bolter. That's what it's called. Or Executor Heavy Bolter. Oh boy. Oh, I'm excited to get my hands on this. So yeah, it doesn't say how many heads are in there, but all the masked ones. We've got an unmasked one. Just checking them out. Yeah, it doesn't really say. So there might be a whole bunch of unmasked heads. I will do an unboxing of it and a build guide for it. Gonna try some different stuff in the build guide. See if making it a bit better. But yeah, I'm really happy I've picked this up. So there you go. Now, to the Necron side. So those 2 Space Marine releases and the next 2 Necron releases, they did come out of Primaris Nexus. I should have mentioned that, but now you can get them separate. This is the Chronomancer. You know, I love the idea of the model. I think it's a bit funky. I don't like all the weird octopus legs. I don't know. It's something about it's just not working for me anymore. I used to really like it. Now not so much. Personal preference changes. I think I'm a bit Necroned out, to be honest. I think that's my personal opinion. But again, this is 60 Australian. The price has been on screen for overseas prices. This is the standard price for this kind of unit. It's going to be fiddly to put together, I imagine. And if you've seen my last Necron stream, you know I'm not putting Necrons together again for a while. I need a break. But what I do like, I did notice this before, 3 different heads, which is awesome. I think all sprues should come with just some different things, just to differentiate them. For example, on here, that bit there, you know, have that slightly different, have a different version of it. Just like stick it in the sprue somewhere. There's plenty of room you could stick it in, you know, just something to mix it up. That's my own personal thing. That's what I like. You know, it is what it is. So it comes in a little blister pack. All right, let's move on to the Flayed Ones. The new Flayed Ones. 5 in a box. I'm not a fan of this design. I get the design, I get it, but they just look weird and awkward. I mean, yes, they're just hunched over Necrons with skin on them and long claws, but it just feels... cheap isn't the word. To me, they just feel like a low effort version. They've just got some, like, when they've designed them, they've just moved the parts of a Necron around, done a little bit of work, draped over some fabric, I guess, in 3D design, and then just called it a day. Obviously put on long claws. Yeah, I don't know, I just feel it's a bit easy. Okay, that, you know, on there, it's a bit spikier, but still, you know, it just feels a bit, okay, and there's little adaptations there. Overall though, I'd rather see the whole Necron range more like this, not the pose itself, but just like all beat up armor a bit more dints, more bits have fallen off. I think, I mean, you can do that. I do like the legs though. I like that weird bent design on legs because it feels unnatural, but also is also not unnatural. It's very, I find that a lot in nature, like on a lot of animals actually. Horses, dogs, they've all got that double jointed sort of 2-knee type situation. Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't feel, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't particularly like the models, but you know, it's good that they've got an updated model because I didn't like the old ones. Yeah, I mean, they're just having good features. I love the legs. I love the extra spines. I love the spines on the spine. That's fine. Overall, I think it's the idea of the Flayed Ones themselves. So we're going to move on because we've got plenty more to get through yet. Lilith Hesperax, if I can pronounce it properly, gets an on release. A little expensive for what you get. I do love the design, particularly like if you look at that angle, how is that even standing up? Like from a technical perspective, I love how far Games Workshop designers have been able to go to create a model that is posed in that way when they wouldn't have been able to do that. Like you can't do that with metal, it'll just topple over. But the fact they've been able to get that pose and basically defy gravity is awesome. And really, it's such a strong pose. And a strong design like with that hair. I really do like the design of the model. Not so much the face, but I think we've had conversations on the channel before about Games Workshop and their female faces. But then it might come down to the paint job of them. But you know, that's all right. Yeah, I like it. A lot of people were complaining when it came out about how it's more armored plates and more leather, I guess, than the older version, but I don't mind it. I still think there's still plenty of skin there. I love that design, that sort of plated, leatherish fabric kind of design, and the hair. That it's just a really solidly posed model, like really solid. And the fact the hair takes up like a third of the sprue is amazing. So you can get that in store. Yeah, I think it's a good buy. It's a good one. All right, so let's get on to some of the Age of Sigmar Soulblight Gravelords. We're going to start off with the Start Collecting Soulblight Gravelords. This is a new box, new in inverted commas, because it's got the new model in it. It's got the new, what is it, White King, White Knight? Is that what they're called? The big boy in the middle. So you got all the old skeletons, some old skeleton riders, which are really cool models. I really do like those ones. And then the new one. And it's a little disappointing that that model is coming in this box. To get it, you got to buy the box. It will be released separately eventually. When that happens, don't know. Look at that cloak. Wow. Yeah, that cloak is prime for a bits box. You can probably get 2 cloaks out of it. Wow, that's really nice. I could see that on some kind of, we'll go Chaos Space Marine or Chaos Warrior, because it just adds so much dynamic post into it. All like the holes. Oh, nice. Go through all the models because they are older models. So we'll quickly just jump through, as you can see. So this is the new one. Oh, it's actually split here too, so it makes it even easier to cut up. Yeah, really cool model. It's a shame that the Night King, let's just double check. It is White King. It is the White King, because I used to, in one of the first videos, I called it the White Knight for some reason, because I thought that was a funny play on words. I wish it was separate. Yeah, whoops. Yeah, I wish it was separate from that so you could just slot it on the horse, because the horse itself is really cool. So that's disappointing. But the armor design is really good, like just so many different bits and pieces. And when I did the full look at the model, I was all about bring it back up, the various different fabrics and textures and materials and things. So it's really cool. So yeah, there we go. 165 Australian, which is the average price for Start Collecting kits these days. Don't know how much this one here will be by itself. Probably 90 Australian, whatever that will be. In other currencies, I'm not sure. Now, I've picked this model up because Radikar the Beast. I'm assuming that this was possibly meant to be released for Warhammer Quest. Who knows? But such a good model. I don't really have a concept of how big it is. Oh, you kind of do because of these things there. We're at average human height. So it is a fairly big model. And I've picked this one up because, you know, it looks pretty cool. I really do like it. I'm definitely going to have to do a build guide for this because it looks somewhat complicated-ish. Love that armor panel right there. Or the fact that that's separate, that makes me quite happy. Yeah, there's some really cool things in this. Like, look at that. That's like the front pelt, I think. Yeah, the front pelt. That's really nice. Just a really good design, to be honest. That armor design, the intricate nature of it, how it's all weaved together. I think that's a really solid design. And I wish they would use more of that. So I recommend this model, and I've got it, so definitely see it on the channel. We also have a Belladonna Volga, first of the Viacos. Again, another cool model. We've talked about this a lot recently, so I'm not going to go into it too much. But I love how this range has all these sort of characters in them. I think that's really, really cool. Such a cool cloak. I love the cloaks. I wish they did a whole unit of ones wearing cloaks like this. I think that'd be super, super cool. Like lots of detail, all the different trims on it, different designs. Those straps are there that are buttoned up. Yeah, I love the front of it as well. So again, this is a somewhat, not an overly complicated model to put together, just lots of pieces. And they've a big focus on the base itself. So that's a really big one there. All right, moving on because we've got plenty more to do. Lady Anika, the Thirsting Blade. Creepy vampire lady. Creepy vampire lady on a long base. They're really loving the long base, and that sword is so good. I wish Games Workshop would release just packs of weapons, you know? I know they do for some things, like you can get shield packs and shoulder pads and, you know, chapter specific Space Marine packs, but you know, just a whole pack of different things like that. I think that'd be really cool. And there are the 2 different versions. One with the weird wing hand, gross, and then one with the mask, which is really nice. That's a really cool model. So you're going to get something out of it. You're going to get like a hand with a mask on it or some kind of weird wing thing. Or odd. And we got Kritza the Rat Prince. Again, we've seen this model a lot, so we won't focus on it too much. Creepy rat tails everywhere. That is super gross. Yeah, interesting way to put together. It's like that leg is whoop, all the way up. So odd. Yeah, it's a gross model, but really nice. Yeah, just all those rat tails, that's super disgusting. It's so strange that there's two characters in here that have these really long bases, but it is what it is. So they're actually fairly cheap, 55 Australian. Obviously, other prices being on screen. We also get the Direwolves. And, yep, standing on a rock. Standing on a damn rock, looking up. Like, what's going on? I'm on a rock. Yeah, odd. Real odd. I mean, there's some cool designs here. I think it's a bit plain. I'd rather see the skin being torn off a bit more, but it is what it is. I'm got a little birdie eating away. So it looks like about 5-6 pieces for each direwolf. So pretty stock standard, and you might get some extra bits out of it. So you get 10 in a box, which is real nice. Right. Now we get onto some odd releases. This proves that Curse City is not coming back because we have Radika the Wolf and the hostile main sprue. Yeah, it's not coming back because this would not be released this soon. Although I do have to say, on the weekend I went to a local Warhammer store and they had a special event and they had 4 boxes of Curse City sitting there that was found in the local warehouse. So they're still out there. You're going to be able to pick them up at some point. So Radika the Wolf, because we've had Radika the Beast. So basically in Warhammer Quest Curse City, you would eventually defeat Radika the Wolf. And now we know that a week later, after the game came out, it got released that he turns into Radika the Beast. So, okay. I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. It's a really cool model. I'm not going to lie. If you haven't seen it, here's the 360. Yeah, it's just a cool model. I mean, he's mostly wearing a 2-headed wolf cloak. Yeah, I mean, I think Radika the Beast is a far, far better model. It really is. And there's a sprue. It's a couple of pieces. It goes together within like a few minutes. Super easy. And then we get Radika's Court. So the sprue itself is, the price is on screen. It is what it is. That's it. When you look at, so that's 210 and that's 60. So that would be 270 for those 2 sprues. I'm doing the Australian price here. I think the price for Curse City was around 280, 290. I think it might have been 290. I can't remember. So I'll let that speak for itself. They're good models. Like, they're real solid models. I can't really fault them, to be honest. I really need to do a proper review of all the Curse City models. Show them like 360s and do some close-ups and really do that. I might do that. If you are interested, let me know. Because I do actually really want to do that. Just haven't put the time into it. I won't go into too much depth because this video is already running very long. But, like, just, they're all good models. I love them. Okay, this is the only one I don't really like. Actually, those 2. Because there's too much terrain in there. Makes sense, but, you know, it's a bit weird. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you anymore. Seriously, if you can afford it, get them, because this box is essentially a huge hobby project. Like, you can just go ham on it and just go crazy. Do some really amazing paint jobs. Simply because they're all characters. They're all very unique and individual. They all have their own little quirks and things and so much detail to just jump in and go crazy on it. So I'm expecting that in the future. The good guys will come out as well. Because that was on its own sprue, like 2 sprues. Yeah, like, the models are really easy to put together too. So I highly, highly recommend it. I really do. It's just that price. But it is what it is. Alright, we're getting there. With Warhammer Underworlds, Dichasm, Canaan's Reapers, we have the Ossiarch Bonereapers. Interesting models. I've made my thoughts very clear on Ossiarch Bonereapers previously. Yeah, this is the standard price for Warhammer Underworlds warbands. If you are a player of the game, I always recommend that you buy every warband if you want to play at like a high level, because you have to buy all the warbands to get all the cards. It just is what it is. And I wonder if in this set they have the printing mistake. If you've seen the live stream I did doing the Seraphon Starblood Stalkers, in the unboxing, discovered that one of the character cards was separate. Looking through the main character cards, one was in Italian. So there was a printing error in there. So, you know, might be an issue here as well. But it's interesting. I thought that was kind of funny. I do always love the bases though. I love the fact that they can make everything so unique. And again, like the Radicar's Court box, this is almost like a little mini project, like a little mini weekend project that you can just put together, which is what I really love about the Underworlds warbands. Even if you don't play the game, it's a little project. You can be like, yeah, I really actually want to paint some Ossiarch Bonereapers, but I don't want to spend like a whole bunch of things to get one model, or spend a bot to get a box of the same models. These are just a really good way to do a little paint project, just test out, just to play around to see if you really do want to buy more, to put the time and effort into paint a whole army. So yeah, I do recommend the Underworlds range. I think it's one of their better ranges. Okay, continuing on, books time. So, okay, I'm so happy. Dark Imperium Trilogy is finished. It's done. We have all new versions because they're being completely updated. So Dark Imperium, let's actually read here. They don't actually say that it's updated, but these are the updated versions. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, that's really strange. I thought they would have said that they're being updated. So basically what's happened is the original 2 books and the trilogy as a whole was set towards the end of the Indomitus Crusade. They've retconned that and set it like a couple of years into it. It makes sense. I think when I was reading it, it didn't really take away from the fact that it was towards the end of the Crusade. There were some very interesting points where Guilliman was going to have to go back and do the whole political thing that he really did not want to do, because he's not. He's a tool of war. Some people might just say he's a tool, but I like Guilliman a little bit. He has a bit of a tool, but I like him. He's bred for war, so he doesn't want to do that. So there's that play there, which will still be in the book, but the whole fact that it's now been shifted back in time, it won't make any real difference, in my opinion anyway, from reading it. I think it makes sense that it's more at the beginning than at the end, but that's fine. So enough of that. Dark Imperium, highly recommend it. Sky Haley, the best 40k writer. I think most people will agree. The second book, Plague War, very good. Ends on an awesome bit where you're like, oh, I want to know what happens in the next few minutes. It's not quite a cliffhanger, but it just leaves you with questions. Like, again, like very good. There's such good writing in this series from not just Guilliman, but you get a real insight into the citizens of the Imperium and what they think about the Emperor and all of that. And then Guilliman coming back thousands of years later, knowing what the Imperium was and what it was meant to be. And he's just completely disgusted by it. And then that whole opposing moral, philosophical debate about what society should be. And can you really question people's faith? Are they wrong having that faith? You know, that whole thing. I think very, very interesting. And they really delve into that very, very deeply into Plague War. And now we finally get Godblight. Guilliman is finally meeting Montarian. They're going to throw down. And I think there's going to be some cool stuff in there. Yeah, I think so. It's a climactic battle. So they're playing on the world of Ajax, which now has a different name, which has been completely taken over. And they just fight. No matter who wins the last great clash of the Plague War, the repercussions of victory will echo through eternity. And that's just writing. But there could be, I think there's going to be some reveals in this book, particularly about what Guilliman does, because while he was bred for war, he's also a very consummate politician and he understands. He's always steps ahead of everyone and he understands what everyone's up to. So I'm very interested to see how Guy Haley goes into the political aspect of where Guilliman is at, coming to terms with what the Imperium has become, opposed to what it should have been. So interesting. I'm very excited for that. So this video has gone on for like half an hour. There's so many releases we have to go through. It's fun now. Games Workshop is back in full swing, making an announcement, releasing models, so many things that everybody wants, but you can only buy so much. I'm not made of money. So yeah, let me know what you think below. What are you excited about this week? I'm excited about the Heavy Intercessors. I picked them up, and Radika the Beast, which if I have a guess is that one there. Oh, perfect. Pick the right tab. Yeah, Radika the Beast. And we need to do a 360 of him. So let's have a look. Yeah, real cool. There's so many cool things about this model. A very quick note before we end out the video. If you are interested in getting these models and you do want to get a discount, check out Element Games. Follow the link in the description or in the pinned comment. It is an affiliate link, just so you know. You get the discount, but it also gives a little bit of money to the channel if you buy through them. It's a win for everyone, really. All right, back to wrapping this up. That's it. I'm out of here. Thank you for watching. If you've got this far, hit that subscribe button. Hit me up on all the social media. I'm trying to grow Twitter and Facebook at the moment, so check the end tag frame because I'll have information there about it, or check the description, and I will see you in the next video. Catch you later.